Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Life, Law, Bin. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's wonderful to see you guys again. Obviously, as you know, pupillage results are in. So to those of you who have received the news that you wanted, huge congratulations to you. And for those of you who basically received displeasing news, I just want to tell you that your time is coming soon. So please do not stop. Continue to persevere and you will succeed. Now, I wanted to focus today's video on choosing among multiple pupillage offers. I know that sounds a bit crazy, but there are some very fortunate candidates who are in that position. I was definitely in that position when I was offered pupillage, and they're not numerous resources on telling you how you should be choosing among multiple pupillage offers. So I thought that I can offer you some guidance. Obviously, you can feel free to take it or leave it or do as you wish with it. But if you are definitely watching, it is highly likely that you've received more than one offer for pupillage. Huge congratulations to you, or you're preparing in the future to receive more than one offer for pupillage, and that's a good mindset to be in. Now, just a bit of a cautionary tale before we proceed. Know how long you have to make the decision. Then give yourself a deadline within that period. Do not rush the decision. This is a very important decision, folks. So you don't want to be rushing the decision. And at the same time, do not keep chambers waiting for a long time. Honestly, I wouldn't really recommend taking the full 7 days deliberating. So, for example, if offer day is a Friday, take the weekend to really think it through thoroughly and try to get back to chambers. Or in my case, I got back to chambers by Sunday, or you can even try to get back to them by Monday. But the truth is, I wouldn't recommend keeping the sets waiting for such a long time. Do not keep them on edge. We ourselves as applicants don't like to be kept on edge. We usually like a response in a timely fashion. Remember that the sooner that you get back to the chambers, the quicker that they can notify those candidates who have been offered the reserve slot on whether or not you will be accepting the offer. Come on, folks, it's not cool to keep the chambers and the reserved candidates in suspense as they too have to organize their affairs. So while you're not rushing the decision, please don't also procrastinate. Please also don't tell yourself, oh, I've got all this time, and take it all the way down to the deadline. So as soon as you have fully deliberated, as soon as you've fully considered that decision, then please do get back to chambers. You want to be making an informed decision. So I recommend that you consider the following. Assess whether Chambers' ethos matches with your personality. You can ask yourself a series of questions. Did you have a mini pupillage with the set? It's okay if you didn't, but if you did you enjoy interacting with the Chambers members on that mini pupillage? Was it a valuable experience? You can also look at the interview process. Did you enjoy that interview process? How were you treated during the interviews? How did you feel during the interviews? Did you feel valued? Did you feel like you would fit in well at this set, or did you feel more like an outcast? Did you feel like it is the most appropriate environment for you to develop your career? And ask yourself, do you know any friends or people at the set that you can have a quick chat or a chat with about the set? This is important. I'm asking all these questions. I'm asking you to ponder upon these questions because you ideally want to develop your career at a set in which you are comfortable. You don't want to feel uncomfortable while taking your baby barrister steps. The next thing you might want to consider, and obviously you don't need to go in this order, but you might want to consider the pupillage award. Let's just be candid here for a minute. We all need money. So you need to be weighing the awards, and you need to know your own financial circumstances and, what would be ideal for you. So that's one of the factors that you can consider. You can also consider whether the grant is payable in full for the first 6 months, or will it be paid over the course of 12 months. Just check the structure, double check the structure of the pupillage and its payments. You also need to be looking at the guaranteed earnings. Is the guaranteed earnings subject to a clawback? If you earn more than the guaranteed amount, look at your expenses as well. Who's responsible for paying your travel expenses? Is it Chambers or is it you? So you really want to be looking at the pounds and pennies when making this decision, because ultimately we need money to survive. The next factor you want to be considering is the practice areas, exposure to different practice areas which you're interested in. Ask yourself what type of work is available. What will you be able to hone in on? You want to be guided by your interest. Obviously, as well, if you're doing a common law pupillage, if you've been offered a common law pupillage, you need to be happy with the areas of practice on offer and comfortable with what you can start developing your practice in. So look at it, will you be practicing in your desired area of practice? How much work will you get to undertake, or will you at least get to shadow people doing work that you're interested in? For some of you, you will also need to consider chambers locations. Obviously, you should have been applying to sets that you're happy with their location, but obviously, still good to double check. Ask yourself, depending on where this chambers is located, do you really want to work, for example, in London or on circuit? And obviously, if chambers has more than one premises, which one is ideal? Consider your commute time. Consider whether or not you're going to have to move and move in arrangements, etc. You should also be considering the fact that some chambers take on a relatively high number of pupils with the intention of offering only one or two tenancies at the end of the process. So this is something that you should figure out when considering which pupillage you should take. It all turns on what you are looking for. You should be asking yourself how many tenancies are likely to be on offer at the end of the pupillage. And obviously, this will determine the dynamic among the pupils, because think about it. If there are 10 pupils, just to note a random example, with only 2 slots available, it may not really foster a supportive environment. The environment may be more cutthroat, for lack of better terms. So ask yourself, is that the environment that you thrive best in? And make that decision. Ask yourself, will you have any co-pupils? If so, how many? Now, if equality, diversity, and inclusion is important to you, you should consider the Chamber's EDI within their recruitment policy. So you might ask yourself, do they offer reasonable adjustments for sickness, for neurodivergent candidates, or those with different abilities? That may be something that's very important to you. You always want to be looking out for that. In terms of equality, diversity, and inclusion, or EDA, you want to be looking at their outreach to the community. Are they participants in pro bono, or do they offer pro bono? Do they serve the communities? Gender equality, is that something that they're interested in? Are they making a significant effort to create opportunities for those in underrepresented society? If you're an international applicant, like I was, you may want to consider if the set has experience supporting international applicants, or whether there is a desire to learn how to support international applicants. Obviously, you don't want to be going into a set where you sense a bit of hostility towards navigating that process with you. So that's something that you should consider. You also want to be looking at well-being. How much does Chambers value physical or mental health? And this would be evident in the level of support offered. Some chambers offer, massage therapy and or therapy, or, they will talk about the things or the initiatives they do for those going on maternity or paternity leave. Some of them speak about what they can offer you if you need to take a leave of absence due to ill health. So these are things that you need to consider. Is that important to you? Do you want a set that supports that? Ultimately, although I've given you quite a comprehensive list of factors, your gut instinct informs you of the set that you prefer the most. And generally, we tend to still give the heart what it wants. But I want you to choose somewhere where you believe you will be happy and you will be supported, right? Please do that. So sometimes we do know already, but ultimately still weigh through those options and make sure you choose somewhere that you are, well, you think you will be happy and supported. Just before I conclude, remember, this is very important that you must be courteous, polite, and grateful when rejecting a set. All right. Remember that at one time you wanted to join them, and it's definitely they definitely were in your top list. You wanted to join them, so you must be courteous, polite, and grateful. You must understand that you're in a very privileged position. You are very fortunate to be in such a position. So you must not let that get to your head. You must be courteous, you must be polite and grateful. Also, the bar is quite a small world. It's a small profession. So you may very well see those who interviewed you in court, or you may end up applying to their set in the future for a third six or a tenancy. You never, ever know what may happen. So the last thing you want to do, folks, is to be rude or to be offensive. You do not know. So make sure that you're polite. Manners goes a long way, right? Good luck in your decision making. All the best. And I will definitely see you on the next video. Thank you. Have a good one.